Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Happy Friday. Good afternoon. Parsha and wine pairing here at Kosherwine.com. Don't forget to use the code Parsha7 for 7% off on all our Parsha wines. How you doing, David?
I'm good. I know you. I wasn't here last week, so you were surprised to see me.
Yeah. David was on vacation in California, visiting some good wineries there. Before we get into the whole Parsha, this week's Parsha is Vayeira. We wanted to announce the winner for the past 3 weeks for our Parsha.
That's right. We had a giveaway for the case, right? We have a Parsha wine pairing case that we put together. So if you purchased it, you have all the wines that you'll need for the whole Sefer Bereshis.
Right.
And we offered a free case, so now it's time for us to pony up.
Okay.
So Jared, who's the winner? How's this going to work?
Okay, so we're gonna do a drawing right now.
All right.
I got a bucket full of all our raffles here, and thank you guys so much for your loyalty and for sharing with us. I wish I could pick everyone. Whatever. I'm not gonna say the cliche stuff, but we're gonna go ahead and spin it around. All right, make sure this is totally random. All right. Okay. Without further ado, the winner for the Parsha and wine case is going to be Chana Moser.
Nice. Congratulations. We owe you a case.
Mastab Chana Moser. If you're watching this now, congratulations. You are the winner for the Parsha and wine Sefer Bereshis case.
All right. So I guess they'll have to private message us or something to get the exact shipping address that you want it sent to.
Yep. So we'll
have that
coordinate
shipped out
all that
early next week, and hopefully you'll have it in time for next week's Parsha. But all the wines that we started with from the beginning of Bereshis through the end of the Genesis will all be in that case. And I think we're going to do this again sometime soon. So stay tuned, and we'll get this going again. For all those of you who didn't win and were waiting, now's the time to buy the case so you get the rest of the wines to pair with.
And don't worry, we'll have more. We'll have more stuff going down the road. And I really thank you guys. It does mean a lot to us for you guys to share and watch every week. If it weren't for you guys, we'd just be talking to ourselves. So thank you guys again, and stick around. There'll be more stuff to come. If you didn't get it this time, down the road we'll have other things going on. So again, Mazel Tov, Chana.
All right. Okay, on to the wine.
Okay, so for this week's Parsha, we have Vayeira, which means he will see, or he saw. Beginning of the Parsha, we're continuing with the story of Abraham, who becomes the father of the Jewish people, also the father of Ishmael last week. I don't know if we mentioned he gives birth to his first son, Ishmael, from Hagar. So some angels visit Abraham and say that he is going to have a son. We learn a lesson also in being very hospitable to your guests. Abraham is obviously a man of chassidut, of great chesed and kindness. And so the angels tell Abraham and Sarah that they're going to have a child. Sarah laughs because they're a little old in years, but miraculously they do have a son in the end, and they name their son Isaac, or Yitzchak, which means he will laugh, a play on the words that Sarah laughed at the thought of having a son in such an old age. So continuing in the Parsha, we have God tests Abraham, right? The most famous, one of the most famous stories in the Bible of God testing someone. So God tells Abraham to sacrifice Isaac on an altar, and Abraham obviously very worried about this, but Abraham heeds to God's command and is about to bring Isaac up to be sacrificed, and then at the last second God says, thank you, an angel says, thank you, Abraham, for your faith, and this was just a test, so false alarm. So obviously for this week's Parsha, it's going to be Isaac's ram from Hevron Heights.
Nice.
Oh, yes, and also God tells Abraham to sacrifice a ram. So that's the other part of this. So instead of Isaac, we get a ram. So Isaac's ram from Hevron Heights is going to be the Parsha wine.
It's probably one of our strongest connections that, a lot of times we have to dig deep, but
sometimes there's Kabbalistic things. This one, it's just it's a Parshat. It's very simple.
It's right there.
It's right there.
And this should make up for next week, because I'm telling you, for next week we really we got really creative.
Yeah, well,
I know we're not going to talk about it yet. I'm just saying this one's obvious. Next week is a bit of a head scratcher, so enjoy this one. It's a really easy to explain. Okay. So if you have this wine, it's going to be really easy to pour and talk about.
And Hevron Heights, obviously, something that we've featured before and showcased. A very great winery from Hevron in Israel. Excellent wine. So we are going to.
I think what did we do this year? The Cab Franc, right?
The
'Cause
Cab Franc last time.
Last year's was there was such a good connection with this one, and I think we did the Cabernet Sauvignon, and in doing it this year, I think we're trying to do everything different, but this one was just. You couldn't pass up on this one, so instead of doing the Cabernet Sauvignon again, we switched to the Cabernet Franc. I don't know what we're going to do next year.
And customers love this too. It's
it's
good.
really
Give them what they want.
Really popular wine. Really popular winery. It's in Hevron Heights. It's very very good stuff.
Okay. All right.
So if you're not familiar with this, definitely go out and get yourself a bottle because you're missing out.
And decant this for about half an hour to an hour or so at least. Okay.
Okay, this is not 100% Cab Franc, or is it?
Doesn't say if it's 100%. Could have some, a little bit of some other varietal in it.
I'd be very surprised that this is 100% Cab Franc. I'm not getting the traditional Cab Franc kind of notes, like the greenness or the. Typically you can get like bell peppers, stuff like that. I'm getting a lot of fruit.
Does have hints of like coffee and some black pepper and a hint of cocoa.
But a lot of those things are not okay. I mean, it's not your traditional.
Well, it's not a traditional Cab Franc kind of tasting.
So I wouldn't be surprised that there's Merlot in here, which could be giving you those notes.
Yeah, and I could see that.
It's a nice wine. It drinks well.
They make a great Merlot Pardes.
Pardes Merlot's another one. I
I
think we actually have that somewhere. Somewhere. Oh, I think I drank it.
This is also Mavushal. We have two versions of this, or the winery does, a Mavushal and a non-Mavushal version. This is also unfiltered.
It's big. It's big. It's bold. It's fruity. If you haven't really tried Cab Franc, I would say you have nothing to worry about with this one. If you're familiar with Cab, you'll like this wine. It's very very pleasant drink. It's just, to me, it doesn't. I would never guess that this is a Cab Franc.
Yeah. If you're a Cab Franc aficionado, like main preference, some might be then. Maybe not exactly your style, but again, this is a perfectly great wine from a great winery. I would try it at least once if you haven't. So that's that.
Wow, a lot of Merlot.
Yeah. This week's was also food-friendly wine too, like a lot of things that we
it's high in alcohol.
have here. So this is meant to be eaten with some meats.
It's 14.5% alcohol, which is nice. You can even see as you pour it, it's got some nice texture here. This is,
You can see the color.
again, not to be confused. This is definitely I would recommend this wine. It just I don't find it to be a Cab Franc, and we've had some really nice Cab Francs around here. The Chinon, which is now out of stock, will be back next month. Which is 100% Cab Franc. You get those traditional Cab Franc notes on. Again, Israeli wines also tend to often show a lot more fruit than if you have the same varietal from
France,
from the old world. So it is what it is. Very nice wine. Definitely recommend it. Okay. We're on and on about that, but we have other stuff to talk about because next week, moving from the story of Abraham and Isaac, we're going to be with Parshat Chaye Sarah. And so for Chaye Sarah, we're going to have this little guy right here, the De La Rosa. De La Rosa Chaye 18.
Chaye 18, which is
they
a
got
Riesling.
Great names on their stuff. This is the Chaye 18 Riesling Italico.
And we've never featured one from this winery, so this is
it's organic.
This is a new one, and it's organic
And
for you folks out there who are into the organic. Get your hands on this, and there are other ones from this one too. But for right now, Chaye Sarah. Next week we're going to have the Chaye 18 Welsh Riesling. Okay.
And for now, we're going to just continue enjoying this one.
See the label with the ram on there, the Isaac's ram. So and from Hevron, which we'll talk about also in the next week's. Not this wine, but next week's Parsha. We'll talk about Hevron a little bit.
All right, awesome stuff.
Okay, guys. Again, thank you so much for joining us. For everyone who entered into the raffle,
Yeah,
and
congratulations again to Chana Moser.
keep watching. Keep following us on Facebook, on Instagram, all our other avenues of communication. And
Yeah, and also just a little shout out. This is the first time we're going live on Instagram as well. So sorry if we haven't been making great eye contact
yeah,
here.
sorry.
But this is a little bit new. Definitely comment, give us some feedback. You know, in the beginning when we started with Facebook, we got a lot of feedback about how the bottle was backwards and stuff, and you know, because the reverse image. But
Yeah.
you know, like you live and you learn. So you know, let us know how we're doing, and we'll.
So again, thank you all for joining us. Please feel free to comment on anything in the comment section. So Jared and David signing off. Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos to everyone.
All right.